your resume and cover letter assignment. You'll find this either in this week's folder or in our writing assignments folder. So for this assignment, you are going to create both a resume and a cover letter with the purpose of establishing your positive professional image. You want your resume to be carefully crafted, you want your cover letter to be well written, and you want both of these to show you in your very best light. So your resume needs to include several things. A resume needs to show your education, your work experience, and any relevant skills to the job you're applying for. What that means is you may have to rework your resume or change elements of your resume depending on the job you're applying for. So what we're building is kind of your foundational basic resume that you can edit or tweak as needed for different job applications. Your resume must be targeted for this assignment to a specific job or specific job title. So I want you to think about, as you leave SCC, as you move into your profession, what's a likely company that you would work for or you would be interested in? And think about writing your resume for that company, for that job. I think it's all about the positive thinking, those positive thoughts we're putting out there. So your resume needs to include the following things. It needs to have your contact information. Remember, you want to make sure you have a professional email address. So if your email address has inappropriate wording in it or problematic language, you might want to generate a new Gmail or Yahoo account that you can use for job searches. You want to highlight your education. You want to highlight any professional skills you might have. And you want to mention any professional training that you've received outside of your education. Show any professional credentials that aren't listed elsewhere in the resume, if you've won any awards or had any prizes, things like that could be applicable to your job. Highlight your technology skills. We know that technology is an ever-growing, ever-changing market, and employers are looking for people who are comfortable with technology and willing to learn about technology. Highlight any corporate or other job-related skills you may possess. Show any global or cultural diversity experiences, trainings that you've received. You can show any community or civic involvement if you volunteer, if you're involved with any like youth organizations or things like that. You can include that on your resume. You want also to include any professional development courses that you've been involved in. And SCC offers all kinds of different things that you can get involved in to help your resume, to kind of bulk up some of the things that you do. And then look for certain key words. Think about relevant words for your job application. Look at the posting, look at the job description, and try to echo back some of those words in your resume. This is going to do two things. One, it's going to show that you comprehend what this job is and what the requirements are. Two, it's going to form a bridge to the employer. Like, oh yeah, those are good words. Like, I get it. We're on the same page. We know what we're looking for. They know what we're looking for. So it does show that you are mindful and aware. You want your resume to be one page. Like ideally, you want your resume to all fit on a single page. So you're not going to include paragraphs of information. Resumes tend to be bulleted. They tend to be fairly brief in language. I want you to think about if somebody has multiple pages they have to look through, kind of like with a memo, they tend to focus on the first page. So if your resume goes onto a second page, each page should be numbered, one of one, or one of two, one of three, that kind of thing, with your contact information on every page. If you have multiple pages to your resume, which I would really discourage you from, if you have multiple pages, you want your information to be present in case one page gets misplaced. If your employer has a stack of resumes and your third page falls off, you want to be able to get it back to your resume. Staple your resume if being submitted as a hard copy. I always staple in the top left-hand corner. That's kind of the traditional place that we staple. But again, I would really push y'all to try to get it onto one page. That is streamlined. And I don't think most employers go to the second page, look at anything beyond the first. You want to have a quick scan. They're looking for keywords. They're looking for key education. Try to keep it to one page. So some things to think about for a productive resume. Always have a target job title. Okay, never just an objective. What job do you want? What job are you looking for? Always have a professional performance profile or career summary. Let them know where you've worked before. Have a core competency section where you list your skills. What makes you a good employee? Why are you the one who needs to be hired? Like, what's your skill set that's going to benefit this company? Don't put a salary on a resume. Okay, that's a conversation that you have possibly in the interview or post-interview, but it's not on the resume. Keep your resume focused, enhance your accomplishments, and when you're sending your resume as an electronic file, always send as a PDF. PDFs preserve your formatting. If you send things in a Word document, if somebody has a different version of Word or they're opening on a Chromebook but you wrote it on a MacBook, your formatting can get messed up and that's problematic. So always save your Word document as a PDF. Your cover letter is the second part of this assignment. So a cover letter usually is attached to a resume. This is going to be a little bit more like a personal introduction. And this is where you have more like paragraph style writing instead of just bulleted points. So a cover letter needs to be targeted to a specific job title or a specific job ad. Again, y'all, both with your resume and your cover letter, you're going to have to change these, modify these, tweak these for every job you're applying for. You want your employee to see that you took the time to specify your resume, to specify your cover letter. If you just have a generic one that you send out, they don't see that you put that time in. And it's only going to take a few minutes. Y'all, it just takes a few minutes to change some wording here and there. And it can make a world of difference in how an employer perceives you. So your cover letter needs to have personal, relevant, like pertinent information on the each page. Ideally, again, you want to keep it to one page, but you need to have your contact information on every page if you go to multiple. Be addressed to a specific person if possible, not just a job title or the entire company. Who's the HR director? Who reached out to you for the interview? You want to be as specific as possible. Targeted to a specific job, address, again, points of relevance, include references to your professional behavior, your professional development, detail any qualifying experiences that you may have. Don't reference things like salary. Don't reference things like your date of availability, except to say that you're available at their convenience. You can give a range of salary, but the cover letter isn't a job negotiation. It's not element negotiation. It's introduction. Those things like negotiations come during or after the interview. So again, your cover letter, your resume, this is your stepping into the company, your introduction to the company. Mention your highest education, mention why you're sending the resume, identify why the reader should read this resume. So in my cover letter, I say, I'm Jessica Stevens. I've been in education for 13 years. I've taught at these schools. I've worked at these colleges. I have multiple degrees, including bachelor's in these fields, master's degrees in these fields. I'm a good person to hire because, and I would list some reasons. So your cover letter is a more detailed introduction into who you are. I always end my cover letters with a request for interview or a request for further contact. I look forward to scheduling an interview with you. I look forward to our next communication. So again, you want your cover letter to end with putting the ball back into their court. Here, sorry, I've got something in there. So again, the idea being, I've introduced myself. Now it's your turn as the company to reach back out to me. If your letter is more than one page, which again, I would discourage you from doing that, each page should be numbered, 1 of 2, 2 of 2, that kind of thing. If your letter is more than one page long, the pages also need to be stapled. Again, like I said, top left corner. So this is our assignment for this week, to create our resume and our cover letter. Word has wonderful resume templates that you can use. You can look for resume templates online. Again, try to keep it professional. You're going to find all kinds of crazy styles and crazy patterns out there. I've seen unicorn resumes and zombie resumes. Y'all don't want that. You want clean, clear, precise, professional. This isn't necessarily about showing your personality, but more about showing your professional demeanor. So try to keep it professional at all times.